General Fitch, I'd just like to ask you, as being a part of the community, partnering with the community, why is having such an opportunity with the Tuskegee Airmen and to bring them out to the base and then open that up to the community, why is that such an important thing?
Well, first of all, the Tuskegee Airmen heroes, you know, they were they broke a lot of barriers. Anytime we get an opportunity to celebrate people who break barriers, we need to do that. And these gentlemen that are coming up are, I believe they're out of the Sacramento chapter. And this is a living legacy that we have. And we need to be very careful that we don't allow this legacy to go, have them pass and not be recognized for their contributions to what they did for this country.
And what does it mean to capture that time in history and to bridge it together with all the things that are going on now in the world, as far as going to war and fighting as one military, coming together with the Army, the Marines, the Navy, different things like that, because we talk about diversity and then we look at the Tuskegee Airmen and the legacy that they left. How do we bridge that together when we look at today's military?
Well, I think we do it by events like this. I think it's the relationships that we build over time. It's by walking the walk and talking the talk, actually doing something about situations that we see every day. And as you know as well as I do, Tori, that we're only as good as our combined, you know, group, meaning there's no one person better than any other person. And so right now we have a force that is we're full. We have a lot of folks in the force, but you know what? We can be better. We can be a lot better. And we're only going to get better if we have a diverse force, diversity of thought, diversity of culture, and I believe that's what it's all about. That's what makes us so strong, and willing to be able to talk to each other and share our differences. Our differences are what make us so strong.
And over your lifetime, with the world going through the changes that we've gone through, what makes this so important to you personally?
That's a difficult question. I think what makes it so important is that I personally value everybody. I don't, and I don't want this to sound trite, but I value everybody for their contributions and what they bring to the table. And I think that we can't be our best until we bring everybody at the table. Everybody's included, and everybody's got a say in it, a say in the decision making and the leadership and everything we do. So that's what sets us apart from the rest of the world. So,
what sets the Nevada National Guard apart from the rest of the world? Because I know that doing activities like this isn't something that's required of you, but you go out and you do these things anyway.
Well, one, it's got to be a core belief. It's got to be something that is not fabricated. It's something that you truly believe in your heart of hearts. Because if you don't, you won't attend events like this because you just won't do it. It's too awkward. It's too difficult. It's too hard to go in and mix with people that are different than you. So what makes us so strong is that I think we have some people that believe in their heart of hearts that this is the right thing to do, that diversity makes us stronger, makes us a better nation, makes us a better Air National, Army National Guard. I think there's a handful of us that have been doing this for a number of years. There needs to be more of us, though. We need to expand this, and I think the young people coming up, our young soldiers and airmen, they get this, and they understand the value of diversity and what it means to share.
And reassigned to other racially integrated units. The U.S. Air Force was one of the first national institutions to integrate. Benjamin Davis rose through the ranks to become its first black general.
In many respects, the civil rights movement grows really right out of World War II.
This is Senior Master Sergeant George Porter, Regiment Tuskegee Airmen. Chief Master Sergeant retired Leonard Yates. Regiment Tuskegee Airmen.
for this event today, Brigadier General Robert Fitch.
Wow. First of all, I want to thank everybody for being here, coming out on Friday lunchtime. It's an honor to welcome you. Don't think I have ever seen a crowd of this magnitude or this diverse on this base in my 42 years here. So thank you very much for being here. On behalf of our Brigadier General and our TAG, Bill Burks, I want to welcome everybody here. Mr. Dalton, thank you for your commitment, for bringing these gentlemen, creating a vehicle for these gentlemen to be here. I just want to speak just briefly about the courage that these gentlemen have lived through, have demonstrated, have experienced. The courage to break barriers that we will never know. This generation will never know what they had to put up with, what they had to sacrifice. We need to honor these gentlemen. We need to make sure that their living legacy never goes without recognition. The courage that they have demonstrated in their lives is unequaled. This is the bridge between that greatest generation and the new generation of soldiers and airmen that we have today. We wouldn't be where we are, we could not stand where we do without the courage of these gentlemen.
Because of your sons and daughters that we're able to defend and represent this country, which is the greatest country on earth. So thank you for everything that you do.
July 1948. 3 years after the war's end, President Truman issued Executive Order 9981, officially reassigned to other racially integrated units. The U.S. Air Force is one of the first national institutions to integrate. Their direct orders: protect the bombers at all costs. But as the fighter pilots took on Nazi jets in the skies over Berlin, back home on the ground, their brothers in arms were fighting a very different battle by taking on the United States military itself. The black aviators in Europe and those in America would wage a two-front war against fascism and racism and help pave the way for a civil rights movement yet to come.
I always wanted to fly, from the shadows to the light. So today we are celebrating one of those stories, which is actually 1,000 stories. Stories of bravery, courage it took to overcome stereotype, discrimination, stories of bravery and courage, not only in combat, but to ensure those that we were safe, and well stocked with equipment. The Tuskegee Airmen and their red tails never lost a bomber. Unless you go to Wikipedia, it says. Never mind. We celebrate this contribution, but we also celebrate the legacy, a legacy that demands each person in this room to be the best they can be. That you stand brave and courageous in protecting the values of dignity, equality, justice.
He's got to have something big. I don't need it.
Us that are here. The commander of our group at Lincoln was a white major who was the psychiatrist teacher at Louisiana Tech, and he knew how to handle, and he worked with blacks as well as whites. He had an adjutant that hated our guts. He tried his best to get us washed out of the program. You got 5 demerits, you got washed out of the program. I went to school one day and came back and I had a demerit sheet on my bed. And I took the pants that was on my bed and took them over to Major Fox. And he said, Sergeant, Corporal Porter, what are you doing leaving pants on your bed as you go to school? I said, Major, why would I leave pants on a bed I can't wear? He said, what do you mean? I held them up and fit some little guy like 4 feet or 5 feet tall. He looked at it and said, I know what's going on. You're going back to the barracks. You okay? So those, we don't talk about the insults and things that we took, but we had a commander, B.O. Davis Jr., who graduated from the Army Academy, and they ostracized him for 4 years. He couldn't talk to nobody. He couldn't work with nobody. He couldn't eat with the group. And he spent 4 years. They wanted him to quit the program. He wouldn't quit. But after they selected him for the first program to train as a pilot, he made sure that once he graduated and
pass on to you, but I don't think it's very necessary. But there's one thing I would like for you to remember is that this is not a race type thing. This is something that everybody can do, and everybody should keep in mind that they are a part of the United States, and what we were doing at that time, at the time of our segregation, we didn't think of what we were doing was things that were not necessary and things that we had to do. So I would like for you to remember that there were a lot of people behind us and who supported us, such as President of the United States and President Roosevelt and President Truman. And we would like for you to take away from here the theme that everybody in the service recognizes that.
Chief Master Sergeant Leonard Yates, retired. I'd just like to say that I retired with 30 years active duty, and I have 1,500 hours flying time and a pilot's license. Please apply yourself, and you can do anything that you want because God is willing. God bless.